a little update video today, and today it's an update on the Samurai S0511XX 15 ounce tapered Selvedge jeans. I picked these up about 9 months ago, so they've been one of my main wears for 2021. These, along with the all black Selvedge Onis, so there'll be an update on these as well. They're fading really quite nicely, nice grey fades popping out there, but really nice, very, very soft, very comfy. So there'll be an update on those shortly. Lots of updates, to be honest. There'll be an update on this Tanuki chaw coat, fading nicely as well. Not denim, but it's a indigo dyed canvas, very, very heavy, 25 ounces, and that's sort of starting to get those sort of nice faded pops as well. But yeah, today all about the Samurais. So about 9 months wear on these, very, very frequent wear, fading nicely. The interesting thing about these, or at least for me, were they were my first unsanitized denim jeans, so that basically means they're shrink to fit. Most Selvedge denim does come unsanitized, but by the time you get it, it's been given a one wash treatment, so it's pretty much in a stable state. It isn't going to shrink when you wash it unless you misuse it and wash it really sort of at a high temperature. So really interesting to have that shrink to fit experience. Really wanted to try out this brand for a long time. Samurai have got a really great reputation for good quality denim, but also the quality of the detailing, and we will go in for some close-ups in a minute and just show you how they faded, and also a reminder of how nicely they're detailed as well. So yeah, it's 15 ounce denim. It is a silver thread ID, which I've not seen before. I believe that's to represent the glinting edge of the Samurai sword. But yeah, interesting denim from Samurai. Not only is it unsanitized, it is also the first neppy denim that I've had. And what neppy refers to is, I think we're probably relatively familiar with the idea of slubby fabric. Certainly the Samurais are typically a slubby fabric, which means that the thread thickness varies. On a neppy denim, instead of having a variation of thread thickness, you actually have quite a high number of broken threads, so you get this sort of snowy effect where there's little pops of broken cotton coming out the surface of the denim. Initially I thought that would probably become more pronounced over wear. I don't think it has. I think it actually has been worn away from the wear points, but you can still see it down on the thigh, down on the calves here, and we'll come in for some close-ups in a minute on that. But before we come in for some close-ups, we'll just talk about the fit and the experience of dealing with unsanitized Selvedge denim. As I say, the expectation is that it shrinks, and it shrinks to fit, and it absolutely does. If you check back on my first video, we've got some detailed comparisons between the unwashed state and the washed state. I washed it around about 40 degrees, and it came out with about 5% shrink. Probably get a little bit more if you washed it at a higher temperature, maybe if you used a mechanical washing process. So I just did a bathtub soak. I don't like using washing machines on any of my denim, but yeah, you could probably draw out more than 5% shrink. Obviously the areas where you get the greatest shrink are the longest areas, so on the waist and on the inseam. So these did come with a massively long inseam. I think it was 38 inches to begin with. It's shrunk down to 36 or thereabouts, and there it stays because it's not under tension. On the waist, we did get about 5% shrink, so it did go down to just below 34 inches. But it stretched back out again. So it stretched back out to its unsanitized state on the waist with wear. So that was what I expected. That's what I counted on, because actually 34 inches on the waist is pretty much my sweet spot. So if I get a snugger fitting pair of jeans, the expectation is it gets that inch or so stretch out, and then it becomes super comfy at about 34 inches. So yeah, it behaved as I expected. 5% shrink initially, but then on the tension points it stretched back out. So in terms of measurement, It is now measuring in at 34 inches on the waist. It's measuring at 10¼ inches on the front rise. On the rear rise, it's 14½. On the thigh, it's 12 inches, so that's actually what it was pre-wash, so that's a tension area for me as well. So the thighs are fairly tight for me. At the knee, measured 13 inches down from the crutch, it is 8¾ At the cuff, it remains at 7 inches, and the inseam is about 35¾ 36 thereabouts, so that's stayed pretty static after that initial wash. So, in terms of the sizing process, as I say, I had an idea of how it would behave. I looked on the sizing charts online. I bought these from Denomio. There's a link below, 10% off as well for my subscribers. Denomio have got loads and loads of sizing charts, and if you measure up your favourite pair of jeans, you'll get a good feel for what you're looking for. They've got online web chat, really helpful. But yeah, you'll be able to work out between washed and unwashed states on their sizing charts and get a good feel for what your jeans are going to do. So really good experience with the unsanitized denim. Lovely experience with Samurai. Really good pair of jeans. Very happy with these. 9 months in. I think we should come in and look at details. Coming in for a few close-ups here. Really just showing off the evolution of denim. As you can see, there's really nice electric blue sort of fades coming through. Certainly the whiskers at the front here and around the crotch where there's the greatest amount of wear, you can really see how much it's faded. A little bit of wear and tear on the very edge of the seams there, but in general the denim's holding up really quite nicely. Nice fades, nice whiskers around the edge of the pockets as well. You can see the electric blue pops where they've been worn, and on the fifth pocket as well. The rivets have got a nice sort of ambery sort of patina building up on the copper there, looking quite nice. A little bit selvage on the inside of the fifth pocket there. Haven't typically worn this with a belt, so there's nothing too much going on around the belt line there, but really nice whiskers. As I said in the original review, really nice detailing, mixture of sort of yellow and gold stitch. Button fly, which is, as you'll know, my preference. The buttons haven't sort of shown much evolution, maybe a little bit of polishing around the edges, but looking very nice still. On the inside we've got those nice rivets with the Japanese text on. Still don't know quite what that says. I don't think anyone's told me yet, but if anyone knows, let me know. And again, on the back pockets, more rivets. These are actually hidden, and they've had quite a nice effect on the other side, which we'll look at in a minute. They've really created a nice sort of evolution around the back there, but we'll get onto that. Nice thick pocket bags. Again, I think there's probably a little bit of text in there and a little bit of indigo rub off, which accentuates the textures on there. Moving down the leg, as we say, it's all going on around the crutch there, but as we move down there's slightly subtler fades around the knee. As I mentioned earlier, this is a neppy fabric, so broken fibres giving a sort of snowy effect on the surface. You can still see it down here on the calves. You can see little pops of white there from the broken fibres, but actually where it's had a bit more wear and tear on the thighs, we've lost that effect. I did expect that to sort of maybe increase over time, but actually it's been sort of worn into a more standard looking denim over time. Just moving down to the cuffs. No real stacking. I've cuffed this at the sort of exact right level for me. A little bit of fading where it's sort of creased going into the cuff. It's a double folded cuff because these are 38 initially, but shrinking down to 36. So really long inseam. I think a lot of people would choose to get them hemmed, but I tend not to. Yeah, looking good. If we swing around to the back, there's a couple of things of interest going on here at the back. I'll dive into the point I was making about the hidden rivets. They've actually got quite a sharp peak to them, so they're almost starting to break through the denim there. Not sure if we can get a good close-up on that, but yeah, starting to break through the fibres, certainly speeding up the evolution with that sort of high spot, so it's worn white there, looking really good. Around the edge of the pockets, obviously you get the fades as you'd naturally expect, and again down the seam there as well. The other thing of particular interest, which I found kind of unique to the Samurai construction, on the belt loops you've got a really accentuated fade down the core there, down the middle. Initially I thought they'd sort of woven something extra into there. I think it's just how they fold the fabric, it just creates a significant ridge along the middle of the belt loop, but that was fading within, you know, days, if not a week or so of wearing it, and it just was really interesting that design feature had really speeded up the evolution of the fading there. I just thought that was really nice to give you that quick reward from the first sort of weeks of wear. It's quite nice. It's got a nice leather patch there, and it does refer to a 36-inch leg, so they knew exactly how much stretch would come, or not stretch, shrink would come post-wash. Moving down, slight honeycombs forming on the rears of the knees. It does take time, but again, quite a stress point normally, and the denim's holding up really well there. And the final thing just to look at is very quickly is obviously at the cuff we've got the nice silver Selvedge ID, and you've got a little bit of fading down the core there. The cuffs have sort of worn pretty well. Slight strange sort of stressing of the fabric there. You can see a section where some of the fibres have broken, but it doesn't seem to have weakened the structure. And yeah, that's about it. I hope that was useful. 9 months in, really enjoying these. Probably going to swap them out for the Momotaros, which I reviewed a week or so ago, and give them some good wear. But actually these are some of my favourite jeans that I've had over the years, and they will be still in good level of rotation. Lots of updates coming. As I say, Tanuki, Oni, couple of new products as well, some new Red Wings, a nice camping knife, some torches and flashlights, certainly a running torch, head torch for running. Loads of stuff coming up, lots of stuff to catch up on. If you haven't seen my channel before, please check it out. If you thought this video was useful, please get a thumbs up. And yes, thank you very much. Goodbye.